Alright guys, so we have the Maxxhaul wall tire rack, folding even. We're going to see how it goes with installation and actually using it. So I've got a total of 56 inches to use across here, and I believe that our tire mount goes as wide as 48 inches across. So that should be plenty. It'll also hold 300 pounds, and I know about each of these wheels and tires mounted is right around 55, 60 pounds a piece. So we'll call it 60 times 4. 240 should be plenty. That should be plenty to hold those wheels. And 48 inches is only going to take us to about here, so we should be able to put it dead center. I think we'll be okay. The only concern is just lifting up the lids and how that's going to go, but I think we can manage. So let's give it a shot. All right, so unboxing this thing, fairly heavy for the size, but you know, it should be made of steel, so it shouldn't be too surprising. Actually, I'm going to just open at the bottom here, and it actually pops out like that. And on the other side, all right, so now we have a bag of bolts, some styrofoam, and we'll pull out our metal brackets, and we got some instructions. Okay, so let me toss this on the back there. We've got our bars. It looks like they're powder coated in a light silver color. Looks pretty good. And our instructions should be pretty straightforward, right? Like to do this and think, I can do this without instructions, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at them. So here's all the hardware that's out, mostly kind of pre-assembled. It's pretty nice that you already have these, the wall mounts already there. So basically this piece flips up like this, so just kind of put it up. It's actually going to sit on the wall this way, right? So then you're going to have your bars that are attached to those, through those holes. You're going to have 2 of them, and then it will slide up and flush to the wall when you're not using it. And then you've got these 2 crossbars that go across. Depending on the width of your wheels or the diameter of your wheels, you'll position them through the various holes that are appropriate for your wheel diameter. These pieces come out and they extend upwards of 48 inches across. So let's take a look at the hardware. We've got some lag bolts that are going to go through into the drywall. You definitely got to make sure that you get it into the drywall, and you got a pre-drill. And then there's other hardware included to secure the rods that go across, some pins, an Allen key, I guess, to secure, to tighten the bolts for the rods. And of course your instructions that include some pretty decent detail. So the first thing they want us to do is locate our studs on the wall. So I've gone ahead and already used a stud finder, and I found a couple locations. I'm going to start on the left side, I think, and then work to the right. So what I found is that I've got a stud that goes up right around here and up, kind of matches where that other bolt is, I hope. And then 48 inches over this way, plus 2.5 inches, accommodating for here, the inside to the outside, where that bolt should go through is another 2.5 inches. So that should put me right about there. So I've already pre-marked the edge of my stud here with the little angle. So I've got stud on this side, and there's actually a little bit of space here, and I have another stud there. I'm going to use this one right against the wall. Okay, so first I'm going to do is I decided I'm going to mark the bottom of where I want this to be, which is, I already made a mark, and I've got one end. This just happens to be a perfect level. It's 48 inches across. So we'll go from here to here, and this is perfectly level in the front there. Wait, let me try this again. Corner, and then I'll raise it. It's actually already 48 inches and level, and I set another mark here. So now I have both sides perfectly level across to the bottom, and I can work up from there. So now that I have my lower location, I'm just gonna use my level to kind of draw a line up so I know where my top one's gonna be. The whole rod, vertical rod, is only 20 inches tall or so. So we're gonna, not that it really matters there, but I'm gonna just take the bottom and I'm gonna mark about the same spot on the top. So my level shows that we are level here, and I'm just going to make, we're on 20 and a half. So this should be about the top right here. I'm gonna just make a couple of lines here just so I can follow it easier. All right, so I've drilled my first hole, and I'm just gonna line it up and get it started. And this is a, what is this? This is a 13? Yeah, 13. And then we'll line up the other holes to drill. This would be maybe easier with an impact or something, but hand tools it is. So we're not going to get it tight. We're just going to get it in place so that we can line up our other holes to drill. There we go. We've got a center here. We've got a center here. So I'm going to just hit the middle there. Going in through drywall, which is good. I feel the other end. And this is definitely some wood. So you know what? I'm actually going to back this out, move this aside. All right, it's all the way down to the head. And since I've got that hole drilled, I might as well do the next one, right? So here we go. So normally the instructions I think said measure from, well, okay, so what you don't want to do is measure from the ground, because I found my ground in my garage isn't perfectly level. It's actually sloped, right? And I think a lot of garages are. If I did that and measured up from this side, I would have been down here for my top bolt mark when I really should be up. And I definitely wouldn't be level. I would be like, eh. Good thing I caught it. Okay, so I took a mark on where the top bolt is right there and leveled that across, and I found another stud that wasn't exactly the 53 inches I was looking for. It's more like 52 and change. So I'm not going to get the full 48 inches across with the bar down, but it should still be about 46 and a half, 47 inches, somewhere in there. Each of my wheels with the 275s on them are 11 inches wide, about. So 11 times 4 give me 44 inches. I should have a little wiggle room to get them all up in there. I'm pretty confident in that. So I've gone ahead and marked my new top mark right there. I'm going to go ahead and drill, and then we'll get it mounted up to the top with a bolt in it. We'll let it hang, and we'll line up the positions for the next bolts and get those up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And going all the way into the head, right there. Back out. Pretty confident that was a stud. All right, slightly different angle now, but we're gonna go ahead, put this up here, get our bolt in, and I guess I'm just threading it by hand a little bit. Won't be able to go too far without a tool. So then get my ratchet on there, and then I can really start tightening it down. Alright, so now I'm just going to get the ruler on the side here, a level on the side here, push it down to the wall, and with this vertical, draw a hole here and here. And that should give me the perfect spot to drill. So with that in mind, I'm going to get this out of the way. All right, there's one. And two. Through the drywall. Definitely into wood and out. Just go ahead and line them up. I'm going to get it started by hand just to get it in there, and then I'll take my ratchet and tighten it down. All right, so I'm just stepping back and kind of looking where I'm at. Ideally, these two at the bottom here should be level, and yeah, I'm just gonna set these here and here, see if that's level. Look at that, bingo. Couldn't be much better. Let me zoom in to see you guys to see how perfect that is. Look at that, nice, 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 nice. Okay, I guess the next thing to do is connect the rods that go across. Maybe start by putting these down like this, and then yeah, I'll go ahead and grab the bolts that go in through there. Now this part I think is going to be maybe a little bit more fun. Goes in from the side here, and I can actually get that just started by hand, so that's not bad. So that's all I'm doing here is just getting it started by hand, and I'll go ahead and do the other side. Actually, I'll do this other one here. Let me show you what it looks like. There we go. Just kind of get this started by hand, and then there is an Allen tool that they provide to get it tightened. Now I'm going to go back with a different Allen key so I can get it tighter than this. But this will at least get me started. So, should be tightening up any moment now. I need to flip to the other side. There we go. All right, now we're starting to get snug. Now I'll go ahead and do this to the other corner over there. Okay, so it's starting to get snug. I'm going to come back and snug this up even more. Actually, I'll just do it now. So, kind of hand tight on that one. One other thing to note: these back bolts here, don't tighten those up anymore, because if you get them tight, then it's not going to allow this to slide. See, this bolt on the back here rides up and down on this hole. So yeah, don't tighten those things up, or you're not going to be able to move them up and down. All right, so I've got the back rod snug. I'm going to do the last one, and then we'll start mounting up some wheels. Okay, so the last thing I've done is just inserted these pins from the inside out, and that locks it into position. So now it can't slide up or down. So both of those are in. And we'll go ahead and get a wheel and test fit. All right, so the wheels that I'm test fitting are these Arc 8s. There we go. These are a 245/40 18, and they measure pretty much from tire to tire, lip to lip, 10 inches. So that should give us plenty of room to get 3 more in there. She really only take up to about here. And 2. And 3. Last one. And 4. Okay. Here we are. And I hope this holds. All right. 4 wheels. Okay guys, so it has been a couple of days. As you can see, I've managed to put the trash can and recycling back into position where they were. It's usable at this height, about shorter level as you can see here, so probably about 5 feet up is what I found to be good. In any case, I have taken them on and off. Seems to be sturdy. It does wiggle just a little bit here, as you can see. They advertise the rating of this bar to be 300 pounds. So far it's holding well. You know, who knows, maybe one day I'll walk out here and I'll find a couple tires in the trash can or in the recycling. Hopefully not, but so far so good. One of the questions that came up was, do they make contact with the back wall? And with these tires they do not, but I'm pretty sure if you had a taller tire, a taller diameter tire on this, that it probably would make contact with the wall in the back. These currently don't, so maybe I just lucked out a little bit. Overall, I like this Maxxhaul wall mount tire kit, but there is one concern I have, and I guess time will tell, is the bars are bowed ever so slightly, and I don't know if that's something that maybe could be resolved with a thicker bar going across. You know, maybe if they used this left bar here as the smaller bar and then had an even larger bar going across, maybe that would prevent some of the bowing that you see. But again, it's rated for 300 pounds. Hopefully that means we'll be set. If you happen to have this wall mount kit, please let me know how it's going for you. I'm very interested to hear of any failures. Not that I hope this fails or anything. I hope it lasts a long time, but if you've had any experience with this, please let me know. I'd be more than interested to hear about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.